Okay, even though I'm not quite done with my car, I got my 78 Cutlass in here, and I'm doing rear springs, and I'm going to do the front springs as well. The car sits pretty low, and I have it jacked up now in the back because I did decide already. Okay, that's a nice height, and actually the front looks like it's up higher because of it, but it's definitely low. I got something funky going on in the front end as well, so I'm going to probably tackle it all at the same time. But just to show you a little bit, basically how I do this, because some people complain about the GM rear shocks, and I know sometimes they look like a pain in the neck, but they really aren't. So basically, you jack up the car until the wheel is just off the ground. Okay, in fact, you can even see the tire move a little bit, but you don't even have to go that far. You don't even have to take off the tires, by the way. And every time you want to change this, don't try to take it off from this nut and reuse the other piece. It's nice when you're loosening instead of tightening. Okay, so once you do this, this shock is loose, okay? And now, when you're under here, you can flex the shock on the rubber. Hang on. So when you flex the shock, you can get bolt number 1 very easily. If I can ever. It's so rusty. Okay, there it is. So a lot of people complain about not being able to get straight on this because, if you look at it from the side angle here, it interferes with this. But if you start going like that, you got a straight run. It comes right off. And really putting the thing over there is not so bad. By the way, I had welded the rear chassis on both sides. Put a piece of another chassis on there. When I first got this car, it was not videotaped, and my welder was messed up. But I know it's tight. It's good, and I had to keep doing it over and over and over to get some good welds. But it's been very good now for just over a year now, so that's pretty good. And I had to re-weld these. I got aftermarket spring purchase. That was also a crappy weld, but what are you gonna do? It's fine, Anyhow. Time to change the springs. Yes, I should have done it when I first got the car. Alright, so I'm wearing one of these full face masks because I'm tired of getting rust in my eyes. And like I said, I can move this shock kind of out of the way. I got a wobble extension on there. I got that guy nice and steady. Since I'm not a cinematographer, I'm going to try to do this somehow. Yeah, so I'm holding the, I was blocking the trigger. Let's see what happens if I shut it off or not. I'm going to use my phone to hit the button. How about that? Oh. It's not the way I wanted it. Oh, it's off already. Haha. So, I don't know if you see that, but it is off. Woohoo! Okay. So, this is, an SK wrench. I like to use it for these things. I don't have like a full set of anything, like all my tools or whatever I think I need, So this is a 6-point open end, and it really comes in handy with some of this stuff because you can't see the nut, and if you strip it, you're gonna kick yourself because then you have another set of things you got to do in order to get it right. Now the only problem is that you can't get it on the nut so easily sometimes, which I'm having this problem now. So let me shut off this damn thing, and then I'll figure it out. Okay, wrench is on. I got the gun. Same thing again. I'm seeing. Oh, I wasn't trying that. So real quick, you have this guy here. I got the bolt exposed. I moved the shock out. You see what I did? I pushed up the shock and wedged it like it's supposed to go down here. Like I have a way out of the way, so the rubber is not getting in the way. As you see on this side, I have the exhaust hanger kind of in the way. Sorry, I got rust in my mouth, of course, even though I have a full face shield on. Okay. Yeah, so this is a lot better with two hands. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Like I said, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but let's see. Yeah. Alrighty. That's just shining in the general area. Don't know if it's working. Shining by that I mean it like a light, but it That's not really alright. Okay, so get this guy on there. And boom, off already. It's just wedged in there now. That's it. See, not that difficult. Always put new nuts and bolts. And then now, you just jack up the car and the spring falls out pretty much. Let's see. Okay, I can take off this face mask. These things work pretty good, I must say. So right now you see the tire, it's moving. And is it officially off the ground? It's not, although it's probably enough to get it out. Don't know about the new one getting in. Okay, the tire keeps turning. It's, yeah, see now that it's off the ground completely. This one came out with the rubber. The other side, the rubber stayed on the car. I didn't buy new rubbers. Usually I end up getting the other ones, but you know, I'm not as attached to this car, but I guess you can tell that it really wasn't on right. I did have the springs out already, so that's something. But sometimes you gotta silicone these things in place or tape them to the top of the spring is what I usually do. I didn't have to do it on the other side, but it wasn't like all warped like this. I didn't realize how much, you know, it moved. So, but then again, the wear pattern on it makes me think that it was like this before, and I think I just wanted to line up the old spring in its place, you know. So that's basically it. And basically, you know, the opposite is the reverse. Got a couple. I always put these. I had put the bolt coming from the top and put the nut on the bottom. You know, other guys do it different ways. The thing is, though, I hate to put too many washers or lock washers. The lock washers can split, and then it makes the bolt loose, and then it starts to rust the threads, you know. And even a regular washer has some deflection, and I just rather put this on the hole, and that's why there's a wider surface on this, because you see how these things are? They're just holes. That's a real pain in the neck to get it started. So almost all the new shocks have, I really need a tripod. I don't have a steady hand. So ultimately, when you have the new shock, they're usually these wide things, which can split, okay? If you put the nut on the inner side, you actually start to wedge it apart, you know? So I don't like to do that, you know? I like to go like this and have the bolt on the top. You see, this basically it's going like this, actually, you know? So once you got that going on, you know, it's going to go right in. And I like the load bearing of the nut, you know, because this is wedged on the inside, so the nut is just in the hole. It's not going to spread that out. And that's basically it. That's what, you know, does it. You just put the one bolt up inside the car first, and then you just hook this, you know. You hook it on, and then you're able to get the other side. In fact, you know, because it's a brand new bolt, you're not reusing the old crappy bolts. You just go like this, and then it gets tight, and then you put the other nut and bolt through, easy peasy. And that's another reason it's easier to get the nut on from the bottom. And I just think this holds better. And if you use grade 8 bolts, a lot less likely to rust. Stainless steel is kind of like one of those things that, you know, once you tighten stainless steel, you don't want to keep reusing it. Especially the stainless steel that you get in the store. It's a little different, I think, than the stainless steel they give you in like these bolt kits and stuff like that. You know, if you really wing down a stainless steel bolt tight, it'll stay tight. And it has the strength of a grade 5 bolt, but it's not the strength of a grade 8 bolt. And it'll peen the threads, and therefore you may not be able to get it out. It may be harder, you know, you'd be more likely to or better off to snap it instead. But yeah, I'm going to take some electrical tape. I'm going to tape this to the top. It'll conform. It's not really a big deal. This is a little piece of rubber. The front, it's more important to have it Don't know if I bought it though for the front. That's interesting. So these little things that you forget, or you may forget, but that'd be crazy now if I look in the trunk here with all these parts. And I actually had them for the front and the rear because I'm really good at usually doing that. And I had something rusty in the trunk, and now I got rust everywhere. But yeah, I'm gonna check everything I got here. I think I just bought the what do you call it? I got tune-up, I got water pump. If anybody wants to see that stuff happen on this car sooner than later, please leave a comment. Because I'm going to do the timing chain at the same time. I'm just one of those guys that wants to do everything at once, and if I can't do everything at once, I don't want to do it. I had to change the distributor, so I changed it already, but I reused all the wiring and the cap and rotor for that matter. I don't think I put the new cap and rotor on, but then again, I might have. I think I did actually. So I got new wires, I got a bunch of new stuff here. I have rusty hubcaps in here. So I don't think I ended up, oh look at that, that's the fuel pump. See, I was going to change the fuel pump, the thermostat, the belts, I think I did the lower hoses, I did the radiator already, but I would do the upper hose. I got the timing chain set, and like I said, the tune-up. I changed the alternator already because that was not charging properly and like constantly making the belt squeal. There's some weird anomaly with some of these old GM ones that when they have a problem, they start to squeal the belt, and it's not worth to keep ruining the belt over it, you know. And it doesn't really charge right then, you know. Like every time you put a load on it, it squeals for some reason. So these are the front springs. I don't think I bought the upper cushions. It would have been nice, unless I have them somewhere else, which I just don't remember ordering them. I'm usually pretty good with that memory, but I'm good at, I remember when I bought it. But I don't remember until it's ready to go on. But a lot of times these things aren't going anywhere. You don't really have to worry about the springs and what they're going to do. So I'm going to try to do the springs today. You know, because there's plenty of time. It's the morning time now. It's before 12 o'clock, I believe. So we'll see. I think I want to do the lower ball joints at least. I don't think I bought the lower control arm bushings, but I did buy upper control arm bushings. However, I don't know if I'm going to do that today. If I do, it's probably going to be more than one day. That being said, I will see. You know, I don't know yet. But I'm going to get this on. It's going to look a lot better being at the proper height, especially if I'm using this car in a movie. And you want it to look, especially my good side, which is not that good, but at least it'll, you know, be the proper height. Because even if you don't, you know, if it's sagging on the ground, it just looks. There's a lot of people who do what I do, and they don't put the effort into the body like that. They'll paint it, but then the car is dragging on the ground, you know. So sometimes they like the car to not be painted because it doesn't, you know, shine into the camera and stuff, and it looks very mundane. And being that it's brown, and the fact that it's a two-door, it stands out more. They don't really like two-doors, but I got the car cheap enough that I had to get it. I've worked with this car already a bunch, but eventually I'll get a paint job on it, and maybe do something with that vinyl roof. Let's see, there's a new alternator, and they put the new distributor. These wires weren't that old. Looks like it was tuned up. This is a 260 V8 2-barrel. Doesn't run bad. AC works. Runs very good. I had to.
Hello, Moto.
I had to change the. That was a plastic heater valve, and it broke on me when I was trying to wiggle the distributor out. So that was a fun thing. Said I already done the radiator, and I did the transmission lines, and I rebuilt the transmission myself. And where did this come from? Somebody stuck a Metro card into the car. That's really wonderful. I don't know. It's where I had it parked in the city, in New York City. Okay, so that's basically it. The next video will probably be doing the front springs or the front ball joints and the front springs, something along those lines. And hopefully I'll get it done within the same day. Hopefully I don't have to make too many videos. I think some people already know how to do this, but it's more so if you want to see it on this car, or you want to see how I do things, because I sometimes do things a little bit different. I try, like every mechanic, you try to look for a short way. Sometimes the short way is the long way, and sometimes the short way is ingenious if you do it safely at the same time. Sometimes it's dangerous, but a lot safer. I'm sorry, it's dangerous, but a lot quicker, and other times it's a complete failure, and you lose a finger. No, I haven't. That hasn't happened to me. I almost did one year, but that wasn't for springs. So anyway, let me get this car done in the back, and then I'll get to something with the front. So my phone was completely on the fritz. I just made a little video, an extra video, and you can kind of tell. See, I got the tape holding it on, and my phone's freezing. But you put those nuts on and you use the impact. You don't even have to hold the nuts in the back. You lower it down till you reach that level, and then you lower the car down until that gets equal, and then you tighten that nut, use an open end, and make sure that's tight, and you're done. So this is basically done. And I thank you for watching.